Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to cover mainly loose complete vehicles and play sets, although I do have a few action figures in here, but I hadn't really focused on some of these harder to find play sets and vehicles where you're not looking to get something graded, all right, but you just want it complete for your shelf or to check off a box on your collection. And there just happened to be a lot of those that have sold here recently that I wanted to kind of cover in one video, but I do have a few like baggies and 12-inch figures, one or two, loose complete action figures, and then some Ewoks type stuff. So a pretty nice assortment here for those of you that don't care about grading. You just want to kind of complete your collection of the vintage Kenner line. All right, so the first off we're going to talk about is LM Lane. I bought from this seller before. I don't know this seller, and he doesn't sponsor the channel or anything. I just have always enjoyed buying from this seller. I bought multiple items from him, and he had some loose complete items that I wanted to show. The first one is the Land Speeder with the original box. This is the Long Play logo box, LP box, and it included the Land Speeder, which you got to be careful because if you're buying one in trying to get as high a grade or high a quality as possible, always look at the windshield and always look at the chrome on the actual Land Speeder. This one did have yellowing, which is common on the windshield. $78 though, pretty good deal there, including a box that's in pretty good condition. The Patrol Dupac, and this one looked to be in great shape with a great box. No cracks on the reins that I can see here. Very, very clean example. Really nice. This is kind of a perfect example to add to your collection if you're just looking to kind of build out your shelves. And this one sold for $172.50. Usually a loose complete Dupac that doesn't have any cracks to the reins or breaks to the reins without the box, you're probably in the ballpark of $80 to $100, somewhere in that ballpark. So you're going to pay a little bit more, obviously, to get a box that's in that clean a condition. Same seller also had the Dagobah Action play sets, one of my favorite play sets that I never had growing up. Always wanted it. And this one, the foam is starting to disappear. All right. It starts to kind of crumble and fall apart. It's very rare that you find one where the foam is still 100% intact just because of age. And, Father Time is going to catch up with that foam. But so this one is pretty common condition. And that one sold for $177.50. Although I have seen some recently on eBay where the foam is 100% still intact, which I don't know how that's even possible. It definitely was not fake. I mean, it was pretty much perfect condition. And you're going to be talking about $250 or more for one where the foam is not kind of dried out and crumbling. Next up, he also did have the Millennium Falcon. And this one included a used sticker sheet, the instructions, all of the other little parts, as well as a box with the insert. So very rare to find this one in such clean condition where it, again, the sticker sheet was used, but the box was in really, really nice condition. $680, pretty fair price, I think, for an unused Falcon where the sticker sheet's still unused, but it has been opened, but it includes everything, including the cardboard insert. Probably double that price pretty easily, if not get closer to $1,500 or more. So I thought that was a pretty fair price there. Here was the Droid Factory, 100% complete with the blueprints and all of the hoses and all the kind of little small stuff that usually gets lost. And the box was in great shape. $250 on that one. Very good deal there. Next up, the same seller also had the Imperial Troop Transport on the Star Wars box. We just documented one that was an ESB box. That was AFA graded low grade, like 60, and I think it sold for $800 to $900, somewhere in that ballpark. This is the Star Wars box for the Imperial Troop Transport, including the box and the instruction sheet. I assume it had all of the seat belts, which is one of the more common parts that's missing. That one sold for $200, $200 there. I got a couple of different sales that happened recently for the Sandcrawler. This is an item we've talked about recently and how there are repro remote controls now for this thing, which I did not know. So just be on the lookout. Make sure it's 100% complete, or if it's advertised as complete and original, make sure it's a trusted seller. But this one looks really nice. It included the box. That one sold for $2,169. And then likewise, here was another one that was not sealed anymore. It did include all of the hard-to-find paperwork, used stickers on that one. That one sold for $2,800. Massive number, but again, the box was in pretty pristine condition. very tough to find this box in such good condition. So I can see the appeal on it and why it sold for so much. AFA graded examples, you're probably talking $4,000 to $6,000 depending on the grade. So $27.99 on that one, $2,800 for one where the box was in really pristine condition. I got a couple of different Hoth Ice Planet Adventure playsets that sold. This one had a used sticker sheet plus a radar cannon, and the backdrop was in pretty good shape there. The box was in really good shape. That one sold for $250. And then this one was advertised as unused contents. So you can see the unused contents there, still sealed in the baggies. So a really pristine example. That one I assume would qualify for qualified grading with the grading companies. That one sold, it was listed for $500. The best offer accepted on that was $450 for an unused Hoth Ice Planet Adventure set. Here was the Land of the Jawas playset, and it included 2 Jawas thrown in. The original did not include any Jawas, which I don't understand why. They should have included 2 baggies for Jawas for this playset originally, just to make it more appealing at retail. But it did not include any Jawas. It did include the escape pod as well as the Jawa backdrop. Very cool item. That one sold for $255 in an auction on one bid. Here was the all-original AT-AT Walker with the box as well as the instructions. It was advertised as working electronics, and box was in decent shape, not perfect, but pretty good relative to some of the other examples I've seen on eBay. So very nice ESB box for the AT-AT. That one was listed for $450. That one sold in a make an offer situation for $425. A few 12-inch figures that sold. We had the Luke Skywalker 12-inch complete with, it looks like the baggie for, I don't remember personally whether the lightsaber and grappling hook came in a baggie, but it looks like it came in a sealed baggie. And this one was in really nice shape. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty darn close. They did have some nose rub that may or may not come off once you got that in hand. That one sold for $168. And then this seller in the UK had one that was in pretty rough condition. You can see the belt buckle there had a lot of rub to it. No rub on the nose or anything like the other one had, but it sold for about the same price, a little higher, 150 pounds, which is 192 US dollars. So, for a loose complete one, 168 to about, let's call it $200 plus shipping for that one. IG88 from the 12-inch line. Obviously, he's 15 inches tall. He's a big one. And this one, it looks like it was advertised. It didn't say advertised as complete. So let me see here. It's got 1, 2, 3. It's got all 4 bombs. So it looks like it is complete. Yeah, it is. IG88 complete. I'm sorry. I didn't notice the complete at the beginning of that listing description. But it was complete with all 4 bombs, both weapons, and the bandolier. Now, that one was listed for $725. The best offer accepted on that one was $615. I found 2 other recent sales for the 15-inch IG88 that were both complete, and the prices were $550 and $700. So 3 different sales there, $550, $615, and $700 for an IG88, in case you're looking for one of those. That's 3 data points there. Here was a mint and seal box speeder bike. This one's got the KB Toys price sticker. That one sold in an auction for $165. It did have a faint crease going on the back as well as some scuffing on the flap. So just keep that in mind when you're bidding on those. But that one was factory sealed. Here is the Bosk mail-away baggie. It unfortunately did not include the box, but it did include the cool paperwork saying Alien Bounty Hunter. Bosk is an alien bounty hunter, as well as the catalog. So that flyer is really desirable, though. It's got Darth Vader in kind of line art, along with IG-88 and Boba Fett. I would love to have a mail-away graded at some point, but I've got this baggie, which I can't remember which baggie type it is. SWD, maybe, somewhere in that ballpark. But that included the orange head Bosk. You can see there it's got very clearly the orange head Bosk in there with white made in Hong Kong lettering. That's the most common for the mail-away Bosk baggie. But that paperwork is just so awesome. I love that one. And that's why it sold for so much. It sold for $354, even though it did not include the box. Now, if it included the correct box with all of the paperwork and everything, I bet it would sell for closer to $1,000, if not above $1,000. It's just a really tough box to track down. Next up, we've got the Imperial Shuttle. This one was complete and advertised as never assembled. You can see there it's got all the original baggies as well as the cardboard insert. That is an awesome item. It was listed for $1,000. The best offer accepted on that was $750. So they came off 25%, and that box was in really good shape as well. So really good deal there. One figure for you, we got Yak Face, and I kind of alluded to this in my last loose graded video. I can't remember which one's going to air first, but the UKG 80% old case style sold for like $610. And then we got this loose one that was, I would argue, is in worse shape. You can see very clearly on his hand that's holding the vibro axe that has got a lot of wear on that hand. I think this is at best a 75 grade. And that one sold for $548 plus free shipping on that one. The other one sold for $610 free shipping. So to me, I'd pay the $610 to get what I consider to be a better, higher grade example. But, you know, again, there's some people that don't collect loose graded figures, and they just want to complete their, you know, first 97 or whatever, and they don't care about grading, and they're okay with that hand wear. So I get it. Okay, I think you could find one for cheaper. Personally, you could probably get it in the fours, 450ish. That's just my personal opinion, but this one sold at auction, so what do I know, right? Next up, we've got a C8 condition Imperial Sniper. That one sold for $220 from the Power of the Force line. We just documented another example that sold for $195. So that's a really fragile item, so make sure to check out the tabs that hold that fin in place to make sure it's not cracked. The Ewok Battle Wagon. I've got several different data points for you there. This one was complete with the box as well as the hard-to-find planetary map and the instruction sheet. That one was listed for $1,250. The best offer accepted on that was $975. I found 3 other data points for loose, complete battle wagons without the box, and they were $975, $858, and $700. So this one at $975 with the box and all the paperwork was a really good deal at $975, I thought. Finally, I just wanted to throw this in there. It's not vintage. This is a 1999 Don Post 1-to-1 ratio helmet for the Anakin Skywalker Pod Racer helmet. I love this item. I think it's super cool. Really, really awesome item. I don't know why. I don't have any Don Post, costumes, or in this case, the helmet. But I just love the way this looks. It's just a really cool item. And that one did sell in a buy it now situation for $300. Anyway, I hope you found something useful in there as you guys are trying to check off that box, as I mentioned, for your collection needs. And hopefully some of those data points will help you on your hunt. Thank you as always for watching. Please leave me a like, and I'll be back soon.